discovered how a poor cleaner stole a millionaire's Ferrari for an amazing, life-changing ACT. Lisa wiped the sweat from her brow as she trudged home, the storm painting the streets of her Chicago suburb in shades of gray. The distant rumble of thunder echoed the turmoil in her heart. After another grueling double shift cleaning at 2 different homes, exhaustion weighed heavily on her shoulders. She walked past Victor's south luxurious estate, the manicured lawn like a slap in her face, while his glossy red Ferrari gleamed in the driveway under the flickering street lamps. Just looking at it felt like an insult to her struggles, a reminder of her dreams versus reality. Inside her tiny apartment, Emily slept peacefully after reciting her dream for the umpteenth time, "I want to be a ballerina, Mommy." That spark was everything to Lisa. It filled the void of relentless bills and hardship. But with every passing day, Lisa feared those dreams slipping away, just like her sanity. How could she afford the audition fees? If only she could somehow give Emily that chance, a shot at a future where ballet wasn't just a pipe dream. Then, one fateful stormy night, after too many hours scraping by, Lisa's mind raced with desperate thoughts when she noticed Victor staggering out of a party, laughing and carefree, his garage door abandoned and wide open. A flicker of recklessness ignited in her chest, a tempting voice whispering that maybe, just maybe, she could take that damn car. Just a quick drive. Just to the ballet studio. It was a wild idea. The thought of borrowing his car sent her heart racing. But if it could change Emily's life, before she fully understood her choice, she was behind the wheel, the engine's roar drowning out her nerves. The world blurred, streetlights became streaks of gold, and the city's heartbeat pulsed through the vibrant car. It was intoxicating, for a moment making her feel alive, invincible even. But exhilaration turned to dread when she parked, looking back at the Ferrari, which now felt entirely too heavy with consequence. But back at Victor's place, it didn't take long before chaos erupted. As he returned to the scene, the luxurious car was missing, replaced with a frenzied man shouting into his phone, "My Ferrari! It's been stolen." It was a battleground of whispers and gasps as their small community buzzed with news of the poor cleaner who dared to steal from the wealthy businessman. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. Now, whispers turned into judgment. How could this single mom, who struggled to keep her head above water, resort to such desperate measures? The community she once thought of as silent began to cast scornful glances, their perceptions influencing not only how they saw her, but how she viewed herself. Caught in her web of choices, Lisa felt the weight of vulnerability close around her like a tightening noose. She thought of Emily, of everything she fought for, and her heart ached with the fear of losing it all. The storm outside raged on. Another storm brewed within Lisa, and she knew she had to face Victor. Would she find the courage to explain? To seek understanding? The moment of reckoning approached, heavy with the promise of truth and the hope that maybe, just maybe, through this chaos, they could bridge the divide between privilege and hardship. So much hung in the balance, 2 worlds colliding, as the flickering storms mirrored her own turmoil. What would happen next could change everything. As the rain lashed against her window, Lisa felt a surge of determination. The storm mirrored her chaos, each drop a reminder that she had made a choice, however misguided. She paced the small living room, where faded ballet posters adorned the walls, the bright colors now dimmed by time and reality. Emily's soft breaths floated from the bedroom, providing a semblance of comfort amid her growing dread. She pulled on the heavy coat, the fabric almost falling from her shoulders, as she steeled herself for what lay ahead. Facing Victor was unavoidable. Lisa needed to reclaim her narrative, to reclaim herself. The weight of those judgmental stares and whispered accusations felt like a heavy cloak she could no longer bear. Leaving her apartment, the cool air wrapped around her as she hurried toward Victor's house. Each step felt heavy, burdened with uncertainty and fear, but deep down, a flicker of hope ignited. If she could explain, maybe he'd understand. How could he not empathize with a mother trying to give her child a chance? Once she reached the estate, her heart hammered in her chest, the gleaming lights spilling from the windows casting a spotlight on her vulnerability. Suddenly, she felt so small, so visible against the opulence surrounding her. With a shaky breath, she knocked on the door and waited. When Victor opened the door, confusion blended with anger in his eyes. Dressed in a tailored suit, he looked every bit the picture of entitlement. But Lisa saw a flicker of humanity behind that polished facade. "What do you want?" he questioned sharply. I need to talk to you," she stammered, holding her breath as she fought to maintain eye contact. She would not shrink back, not today. "It's about the car." He stepped aside, letting her into his grand foyer. The interiors sparkled with wealth she seldom witnessed. "You made quite a mess in our community. Do you know what kind of trouble you've caused?" Lisa squared her shoulders and took a deep breath. "I didn't intend for it to happen like this. Please, let me explain. I have a daughter. She dreams of being a ballerina. We've struggled for so long, and I thought maybe if I could just get her to the studio, it might change her life." His gaze softened momentarily, but anger flared again. "You think stealing my car is acceptable? I didn't steal it, Victor. I borrowed it. Just for a few hours. I thought." Tears pricked her eyes. "I thought it would give her a chance, like I never had. I felt lost, desperate. You don't understand what it's like to fight every single day, to want something better for your child." Silence filled the air, tension coiling between them. A blend of curiosity and disbelief skated across Victor's expression. He crossed his arms, taking a step back, weighing her words like a scale tipping precariously between judgment and understanding. "Desperate times call for desperate measures, I suppose," he said slowly, almost thoughtfully. "But you could have come to me for help. There are other ways. Though I don't condone what you did, there is something we need to discuss." Hope flickered in Lisa's chest, buoying her spirit. "What do you mean?" "Meet me tomorrow. Let us find a way for your daughter." "There's a lot you don't know about me," Victor responded, his tone surprisingly gentle. Lisa felt the flood of emotions hitting her again. Relief, uncertainty, and a glimmer of hope battled within her. Threads of her life tugged firmly in different directions. Tomorrow could change everything. As she stepped back into the night, promise hung thick in the cool air. But in the pit of her stomach, dread resurfaced. What had Victor meant? What was he hiding? She realized familiar darkness often came with light, and it was still very much a storm inside her heart. With each step, Lisa could feel the urge to hide from the reality of her choices creeping back. But as she neared the threshold of her apartment, she knew she had to embrace whatever came next for Emily's sake. The shadows of doubt loomed large. What lay ahead could bring hope or chaos, but one thing was certain: the truth had yet to be revealed. Would she be willing to face it? The next morning, a thin veil of fog hung over the city, softening the sharp edges of the world. Lisa stood in front of her bathroom mirror, her fingers trembling as she applied a hint of makeup, a small act of defiance against the disheveled chaos of her life. She took a deep breath, steadying herself. Today was the day. She would meet Victor again. Today could reshape everything for Emily. By the time noon approached, she could feel her heart racing. She had spent the morning poring over what she would say, rehearsing it like a delicate ballet performance, each word choreographed to evoke the right feelings. Leaving Emily with a neighbor was hard, but she knew this meeting held the potential to shift the course of their lives. Lisa arrived at the upscale cafe, where Victor had arranged to meet. The establishment gleamed with sleek lines and polished marble, an altar to wealth that made her stomach churn. As she stepped inside, the smell of freshly brewed coffee mingled with the rich scent of pastries, but none of it could drown out her trepidation. She chose a corner table, feeling both exposed and protected. With fingers wrapped around her warm cup, she found solace in the steam rising up, reminiscent of the fleeting warmth she craved. She fidgeted with the napkin, her mind racing through every possible scenario. What if Victor had changed his mind? What if she misread everything? When Victor arrived, he looked different, more relaxed, as if he had shed the polished armor he usually wore. He slid into the chair opposite her, the faintest hint of a smile playing on his lips. "Thank you for coming, Lisa." "Thanks for having me," she replied cautiously, searching his eyes for clues to his intentions. "I wasn't sure what to expect." I know this is unconventional, he said, leaning forward slightly. But I believe there is a way to help your daughter, provided you're willing to. He hesitated, considering his next words carefully. Take a leap of faith. Her heart raced at the thought of hope licking at the edges of her fear. What do you mean? What do I have to do? His expression hardened again, revealing the complexities hiding under his casual demeanor. You'll have to trust me. I have resources connections within the ballet community that could provide Emily with opportunities you've only dreamed of for her. But this comes with conditions. She shook her head, the familiar sensation of doubt creeping back into her mind. Conditions? Like what? I can't trade anything more for this help. He inhaled deeply, choosing his words with care. It's not about money, Lisa. It's about commitment. I need to know that you're in this for the long haul. We'll need to work together. If you can agree to that, I can help you. Lisa sat back, taking in the gravity of his offer. It felt unreal and yet tantalizingly close. But what do you expect from me? Your support, your presence. You'll need to learn about the world Emily is entering. Attend events, meet influential people. It will be demanding. I don't want you to be a mother attending from the sidelines. You'll have to dive in. Diving in. The metaphor wrapped around her shoulders like a heavy cape, mixing fear with longing. Emily deserved a chance, but this road appeared fraught with complications. Could she be that mother? What will this mean for my past? She whispered, glancing around as if the walls could listen. People will talk. They already have. There will always be whispers, Lisa, he replied softly, lowering his voice. But trust me when I say, opportunities sometimes come disguised in chaos. You'll have to find your strength within yourself. As she stared deep into his eyes, she couldn't help but wonder, what had he experienced to understand her struggle so deeply? The man before her was still a mystery, a rich enigma she felt drawn to, but also wary of. I need to think, she said at last, awareness settling heavy on her shoulders. I can't make a decision right now. Victor nodded, his expression contemplative. I understand. Just remember, every opportunity requires a choice. You'll need to decide if you're ready to step into this new world. He stood up, leaving her in the midst of swirling emotions, the weight of her choice heavy on her chest. The cafe din faded, and time seemed to stretch into an eternity. Each second felt like a crossroad. As he walked away, Lisa realized this was more than an offer. It was a promise of change and challenge, a chance to confront her fears. But was it also a setup for heartbreak? In that moment, she heard a faint ringing sound within her heart, a bell tolling for the decision she hadn't yet made. Her thoughts spiraled, and questions loomed, filling her with both hope and trepidation. What if embracing this opportunity only led to more chaos than before? Would she find the strength to leap, or would she let another chance flutter away? The fog had lifted slightly, revealing a blue sky that felt oddly out of place against the storm brewing in Lisa's heart. She sat at the cafe, now almost empty, as pockets of time stretched endlessly between her thoughts. Resting her chin in her hand, she stared absently at a couple sharing laughter a few tables away. Their smiles were contagious, yet their joy felt worlds apart from her own chaos. What did it mean to dive into a new world? Did she even have the courage to swim, let alone navigate the waters? The looming decision pressed on her chest, but instead of clarity, her thoughts looped like a frayed record. She envisioned Emily dancing, grace and strength embodied as the light reflected off her tiny, hopeful eyes. If she had a chance to see that spark ignited on stage, wouldn't it be worth it? But Victor, he was an enigma, seductive yet intimidating. Could she trust this man with her daughter's future? Her pulse quickened, recalling the way he had leaned in a conspiratorial whisper that made her heart race. Their connection felt real, yet tainted with shadows of doubt. If he believed this chaos could lead to opportunity, could she also see it that way? Moments later, as Lisa gathered her thoughts, her phone buzzed against the table, startling her from her reverie. It was a text from her neighbor. Just checking in. Emily is doing great. She's been practicing her dance routine. Relief washed over her, but it didn't fully banish the grip of uncertainty. Her daughter needed more. She needed more. Gripping her phone tightly, she felt a spark, an idea forming like light breaking through clouds. What if she did take that leap? But first, she sought more information. Knowledge could ground her in this new arena, and perhaps even bring it into her control. She would meet people, learn the ins and outs, and figure out what she might be getting into. And if it turned out Victor's offer was just another street leading to disappointment, she could back out without making any promises. After a moment's hesitation, Lisa rose from her chair and hurried out of the cafe, determination propelling her forward. She needed to find Victor. But which path should she take? Vanishing into the busy street, she scanned her surroundings, feeling both empowered and lost, the fleeting thrill of action dancing in her veins. With each step, her mind raced. Was this truly the beginning of a new chapter? She grappled with the excitement wrestling with fear, but she felt sure there had been no greater dream than to see Emily shine. As she searched for the right spot to catch Victor during his departure, her phone buzzed again. Another message from her neighbor, but this time, embedded within the friendly text was something else, a mention of the upcoming gala at a local theater. I hear they'll be showcasing new talent will be a great opportunity for Emily. Lisa halted mid-stride, her breath hitching as an idea sparked at the mention of the gala. She had to take action, to learn more about opportunities that could lead to Emily's dreams. What if this was a chance for them both to step into a new world together? But was she ready to face the whispers, the stares that would serve as reminders of their past? Could she handle that? Suddenly, a familiar figure caught her eye in the distance. Victor was just stepping into a luxury car, a silhouette of confidence and ambition. Time to confront him. With a burst of resolve, she moved forward, heart racing. Each step took her closer, but with every stride came the echoes of her past. Would he truly be the guide she needed, or just another person threatening to pull her deeper into the swirling chaos? Lisa, she murmured, feeling the weight of her name echoed on her lips. Just as she reached out, her heart pounded in her ears, drowning out the sounds of the city and the whispers of her pain. This decision could change everything. Lisa, a soft voice reached her, jolting her from her internal spiral. It was Emily's neighbor, a warm smile on her face. Are you okay? Suddenly, she faced a crucial choice. Could she move forward now, or step back once more? The cacophony of her heart collided with the moment, each beat urging her to answer. With shaky breath, she nodded, determination bubbling inside her. I am now. But deep down, she knew that the leap was just beginning, and the true test was still ahead. Would she be able to withstand the currents? With the noise of the city rushing around her, Lisa took a deep breath, feeling Emily's neighbor's amiable gaze steady her trembling heart. Just a bit overwhelmed, I guess, she managed, forcing a smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. But the warmth in the neighbor's eyes looked right through her, sending a flicker of comfort into her chest. You've got this, the neighbor encouraged, the unwavering sincerity in her voice wrapping around Lisa like a gentle embrace. Emily is destined for something great, and you're the one who will help her get there. Just believe, okay? Belief. The word echoed in her mind as she turned to follow Victor. She still felt the weight of the neighbor's encouragement as she navigated toward him, each step sparking a mixture of hope and trepidation. Victor leaned against the sleek car, his presence magnetic even from afar. The confidence he exuded was intoxicating, and each stride she took felt like a step deeper into a realm where possibilities awaited her, but also dangers. Lisa. His head snapped up when she drew near, surprise flitting across his handsome face before his smile lit up the shadow of intrigue that had previously settled there. I didn't expect to see you here. Right. There was a quickening of her heart, and she fought to hold her composure as they locked eyes. I wanted to talk about the gala you mentioned. You said there'd be opportunities for Emily? Yes. He pushed himself off the car, radiating enthusiasm. This is exactly what I wanted to discuss. There's an entire world out there for talent, and I believe Emily has the spark it takes. We can take her there. There it was, the promise of a brighter future hung in the air, vibrant and thrilling. Yet, that deep-rooted, uneasy feeling urged her forward cautiously. And what's in it for you, Victor? You seem invested. His demeanor flickered for a moment, shadowed by sincerity. I've seen too many talented kids get lost because no one opened a door for them. I want to change that. But Lisa, your support is crucial. Your willingness to step into this new world alongside Emily. It won't just be her journey. It'll be yours too. The weight of his words sank deep within her. Could she? Did she dare take that step into the glaring spotlight, a place filled with unfamiliar faces and judgment? Yet, The thought of Emily flourishing resonated deeply, shifting something inside her. Before she could formulate a response, Victor continued, "There's more. I can introduce you to some key figures at the gala, people who can fast-track Emily's career. But you need to trust me." Trust. That word again. It felt like a damning weight, holding back her excitement. What if he was merely another illusion, another shadow of the past waiting to ensnare her in a web of frustration and deceit? She felt exposed, the sun illuminating her vulnerabilities as she stood there on the sidewalk, caught between fear and hope. "I need to know more. Can you give me details? I want to be prepared," she managed, her voice steadying into determination. "Absolutely," Victor nodded, his gaze softening. "Let us meet tomorrow, and I'll fill you in. We'll get you ready for the gala." The conversation felt electric, charged with uncertainty but brimming with potential. Lisa's heart raced as she thought about taking this chance. She had to fight for Emily, to discover a new path for both of them. "Okay, tomorrow," she agreed, her heart fluttering with both excitement and fear. "But I need to see this for myself." Victor smiled, his confident energy radiating like sunlight breaking through the clouds. She nodded, needing to feel that surge of inspiration enough to help her step beyond the shadows that she turned to leave. The reality of their conversation settled in. She was standing at the edge of something massive, an opportunity tinged with risk and beauty, stretching in front of her like a vast ocean. But fear lingered, gnawing at the edges of her hopes. What hidden surprises lay in wait at the gala? Would it be a stepping stone, or a trap disguised as a chance? With renewed resolve, Lisa stepped forward. The currents of change were rolling in, and she could feel them rushing toward her. But in the depths of her spirit, a question echoed louder than the rest. Was she truly ready to face not just these new challenges, but also the truths they would unearth about herself and her journey? The next day could change everything. If only she could muster the courage to embrace her reality. Morning sunlight trickled through the curtains, painting golden patterns on the wooden floor. Lisa blinked awake, feeling the weight of the upcoming day pressing down on her. The conversation with Victor lingered in her mind, his words playing over and over like a broken record. "Your journey." Those words felt both exhilarating and terrifying. Could she really step into that world, leave behind the safety of her routine? It sent a shiver through her. The only thing she felt certain of was her determination to fight for Emily. She dashed into the bathroom, splashing cold water on her face. Today was a turning point. She needed to be clear-headed. She needed to look the part of a confident mother ready to face the unknown. As she dressed, she carefully chose each piece of clothing. Today was about more than just her. It was about Emily's future. In the mirror, she practiced a smile, forcing her lips up, but the reflection felt strange. It didn't reach her eyes, which remained clouded with doubt. After breakfast, she saw Emily in the living room, blissfully unaware of the conversation that had changed everything. The young girl was scribbling in her sketchbook, her face lit with concentration. Lisa sat beside her, absorbing that warmth and innocence. "What are you working on?" Lisa asked, feigning casual interest, though her heart raced. Emily looked up, her eyes sparkling. "A dance costume. Look, this part is the skirt, and it'll sparkle when I move." "That's beautiful, sweetheart," Lisa replied, her chest tightening. The thought of Emily performing in front of an audience ignited anticipation mixed with fear within her. What if she didn't rise to the occasion? "I want to wear it at the gala." Emily's voice danced with excitement. "Gala?" Lisa repeated, masking her worries. "Sweetie, we'll see about that." With a quick goodbye, Lisa left for the meeting with Victor, her heart pounding. Each step toward the cafe felt like the ground shifted beneath her. She caught snippets of conversations around her, but they faded as her focus narrowed. She couldn't shake off the sense of impending change. When she arrived, Victor was already there, relaxing at the corner table, an easy aura surrounding him. He waved, and the sharp pang of anxiety twisted inside her at the sight of his confident grin, a reminder of everything she was stepping toward. "Hey, Lisa, I'm glad you made it." He gestured to the seat across from him. She sat, feeling as if she were entering the lioness' den. "Thank you for meeting me." She hesitated for a moment. "Can you tell me more about what to expect?" "I want to be ready." Victor leaned in, intensity lighting his eyes. "Absolutely. The gala isn't just a night of glitz and glam. It's your first footstep into the realm of connections, opportunities, dreams. You'll meet producers, agents, influencers, people who can change Emily's life. But you will need to present her well. Present her well? Yes, in every way: confidence, poise, and encouragement. You'll be her advocate. She needs to see you believe in her too. The responsibility landed heavily on Lisa, and suddenly her throat felt tight. What if I can't? What if I fail her? No pressure, but it's all part of stepping up, he replied, his tone reassuring. Just trust the process and embrace the journey. Embrace. That word struck Lisa differently now. The more they talked, the more she realized this wasn't merely about Emily's art. It was about finding her own voice in a world too often reliant on silence. As Victor detailed the logistics of the event, excitement flourished within Lisa, battling her fears. This was her moment to choose courage over doubt. But what would it mean for her relationship with Emily? What hidden truths might surface in embracing this new world? By the time their conversation drew to a close, Lisa felt a twinge of hope mixed in with her dread. When she stood to leave, determined to prepare for the gala, a lingering question echoed in her mind, growing louder with each passing moment. What if the very act of stepping into the light would reveal more than she ever imagined about herself and her daughter? The gala was just days away, and she couldn't shake the sense that every decision she made could change everything. The days flew by, each one drawing Lisa closer to the gala. The anticipation crackled in the air, like static before a storm. Emily didn't notice the weight on her mother's shoulders. She was too busy planning her performance, dreaming of twinkling lights and applause. Lisa tried her best to keep the worry at bay, filling their evenings with laughter and sketches of Emily's costume. They painted together, mirroring the festive colors of the imminent event. Each brushstroke felt like a promise, the kind of promise a mother makes to always support her child, even when her own heart felt torn. "Can we add more sparkles to the costume, Mom?" Emily asked one night, eyes wide with hope. "Of course. Let us make it shine," Lisa exclaimed, her forced enthusiasm masking the whirlwind inside her. But as she stared at the costume, her thoughts wandered back to Victor's words. "You'll be her advocate." Advocacy felt like a mantle she wasn't ready to wear. What if she stumbled? What if her insecurities were exposed? On the evening before the gala, she stood in front of the mirror once more, dressed and ready to have a final look at her outfit. The elegant dress hugged her frame, a stark contrast to the uncertainty gnawing at her. She studied her reflection, now more composed. For Emily, she had to be more than just a caregiver. She needed to be a fierce supporter. The next morning, news broke out about a notorious art thief targeting events just like the one they were about to attend. Lisa caught parts of the story on the radio, her heart racing as she considered the implications. Art was valuable, but wasn't it more about the stories behind them? She couldn't let fear sneak into their plans. As they arrived at the gala venue, an elegant hall lit with crystal chandeliers and vibrant decorations, all washed over them. Excitement stuttered in Lisa's chest, but so did anxiety. She watched Emily bounce up the steps, her little heart full of dreams, and the sight steadied her nerves. "Remember, you are brilliant," Lisa whispered as they entered, despite the doubt crawling into her thoughts. Emily giggled, her smile infectious. "And you're the best, Mom." They mingled with the crowd, artists and patrons moving elegantly like dancers on a grand stage. Victor was there, chatting effortlessly with guests. When their eyes met, he approached, his expression both encouraging and proud. "Ready to shine?" Lisa swallowed hard, acutely aware of every scrutinizing gaze on them. "Just trying to keep my footing," she said, but her voice held more determination than she felt. "Trust yourself. You've got this," he said, a firm nod as if he knew she was on the verge of something monumental. As the evening unfolded, Emily was captivated by the performances around her. Lisa felt an odd combination of pride and protectiveness swirl in her chest. She watched her daughter interact with other young artists, each eager to share their passion. The connection swelled in the atmosphere. Hours flew, all culminating in the moment Emily would step onto the small stage to share her dance from the gala's end. The spotlight flickered, and Lisa's heart raced. Could she be the voice Emily needed? Could she truly embrace the role of a champion? "Mom," Emily tugged at her sleeve, her expression a mixture of excitement and fear. Yes, sweetheart. Lisa knelt beside her. What if I mess up? In that moment, Lisa realized this wasn't just about the gala. It was about their journey, about stepping into vulnerability and the messy parts of life. If you do, we just keep going. And I'll be right here, cheering you on, she promised, her voice gentle but firm. Emily nodded, taking a deep breath. As the announcer called her name, Lisa felt a shift. This wasn't just a performance. It was a statement. A chance to reveal their grit, their heart, and their dreams. The moment of truth approached as the music started to play. Would this be a moment of triumph or a turning point into the unknown? Here we go, Lisa whispered to herself, a newly discovered resolve sparking within her. The spotlight flickered brighter, illuminating a path neither she nor Emily could have foreseen. But as the first step came forward, doubt faded into anticipation. What surprises lay ahead, waiting just beyond the performance? The music filled the air like a warm embrace, wrapping around Emily as she stepped into the spotlight. The crowd hushed, anticipation mixing with the gentle swell of the piano. Lisa's heart pounded in sync with the notes, every beat a reminder of the promise she made to support her daughter. Emily stood tall, her costume twinkling like the stars above. With a deep breath, she began to move. Each graceful step told a story, weaving dreams in the air. Lisa could hardly believe the transformation. Emily had become this confident dancer, fearless and radiant. But as the first notes floated by, Lisa's thoughts darted toward the looming anxiety. The news stories about the art thief lingered in her mind, shadows in the grand setting. What if the thief showed up tonight? What if something went wrong? But she shook the feelings off. This was Emily's moment. Time to let her shine. The dance unfolded beautifully, and Lisa watched in awe. Emily's small frame wasn't just expressing movement. It was blooming with joy and unfiltered emotion. The crowd began to sway, responding to the rhythm of her spirit. Then, halfway through, something changed. A figure moved in the corner of Lisa's eye, a man in a dark coat, his eyes scanning the room intently. A chill crawled up her spine. He appeared out of place, an intensity about him that didn't match the festive atmosphere. For a split second, Lisa's focus wavered as she tracked the stranger. Suddenly, a shout disrupted the music's smooth flow. Hey, stop! The man she'd been watching bolted, clutching a small bundle in his arms. Lisa's heart dropped. It was as if time slowed. The joyous dance around her turned chaotic. Was this it? Was this the moment everything turned upside down? Instinct kicked in. She grabbed Emily's hand, pulling her off the stage and into the crowd's chaos. Stay close to me. Lisa's voice cut through the fear, grounding them both. They ducked between guests, the energy shifting dramatically. Gasps, murmurs, confusion flooded the hall like a tidal wave. Lisa's heart raced, her protective instincts surging. They had to get to safety. Emily looked up at her, eyes wide and glimmering with a mixture of excitement and fear. What is happening, Mom? Lisa forced a smile, even though her stomach twisted. It's okay, sweetie. Just a little excitement. Keep moving. But as they moved deeper into the crowd, Lisa could see security rushing to the scene, the gala's spirit faltering. The vibrancy of the evening had dimmed, uncertainty now holding sway. Victor appeared, cutting through the throngs with urgency. Lisa, Emily, are you all right? His voice was steady, a lifeline amid the chaos. We're fine, Lisa replied, but the words felt heavy. What if they weren't? The sounds of sirens pierced the air, growing louder with each passing second. A part of her wanted to retreat to a quiet corner, to protect Emily from this shocking turn. Yet, another part urged her to stand firm, to be the advocate she promised to be. There was strength in chaos. There was power in facing the unknown together. Then, as the sirens wailed closer, she looked down at Emily. No matter what happens, she said, her voice ringing with urgency, we'll face it together. The night was unraveling, threads of safety and dreams taut and frayed. But amid it all, a new strength surged within Lisa. This wasn't just about the performance anymore. It was about courage, resilience, and the bond that could weather any storm that as they stood together, uncertainty loomed ahead. Would they be caught in the crossfire of this unexpected chaos? Would their dreams survive the night? Let us find a way out, Lisa said, steering Emily closer to the exit, but her heart raced with curiosity. What had just unfolded? And what would come next? They slipped away from the chaos, Lisa's grip firm around Emily's wrist. The crowd was still buzzing, whispers flitting through the air like restless butterflies. Lisa didn't look back. She focused on the door ahead, the one that led to safety and away from the uncertainty crashing in on them. "Mom, can we stop?" Emily said, panting slightly. Her voice was a mixture of fear and uncertainty, but beneath that, Lisa could sense a hint of exhilaration. "Just a little further," Lisa replied, forcing a calm she didn't quite feel. They pushed through shimmering curtains, the sounds of distress fading behind them. The relief felt good, but worry still coiled tightly in her chest. How was she supposed to reassure her daughter when she felt anything but reassured? As they stepped outside, the cool night air wrapped around them. The gala lights twinkled in the distance, but all they could see was the dark street that loomed ahead. Lisa scanned for a safe place to hide, to breathe. Her mind raced with thoughts. What was the man after? Why had he stolen something in the midst of such a joyous moment? "I went from dancing to running," Emily quipped, a small grin breaking through her initial fear. Lisa chuckled despite herself, grateful for any light in this moment. "Yeah, it's like the most dramatic ballet ever," she replied. Emily giggled, a sound that offered a brief flicker of hope. But then the sirens split through the night again, jolting Lisa back into the worrying world. She pulled Emily close. "Let us find Victor. He'll know what to do." The streets were eerily quiet, the festival atmosphere discarded like an unwanted garment. They turned a corner, and suddenly, chaos erupted once more. A group of men in black uniforms swarmed into view, a rapid formation that made Lisa's heart quicken again. They were speaking into radios, scanning the area with stern expressions. "Mom, I don't like this." Emily's face clouded over. Lisa knelt to her level. "Neither do I, but we have to trust that the police will handle it. We're safe out here." She hoped she sounded more convincing than she felt. She couldn't let Emily see her fear unraveling, not now when she needed strength the most. Suddenly, a voice boomed over a loudspeaker, slicing through the silence. "We need all guests to stay where you are. Establish a secure perimeter." Lisa felt the weight of the world crash down on her. "Emily, let us keep moving," she whispered urgently. They turned away from the commotion, and Dave's voice echoed in her mind. The art thief was in the mix, the chaos and echo of something darker that had leaked into their lives. They found a dim alley between two shops, a narrow space that felt like a safe harbor. Lisa leaned against the cool brick wall, trying to steady her breath. Emily stood by her side, eyes wide, reflecting the yellow glow of a street lamp. "Now what, Mom?" Emily asked, her voice small. "I don't know yet, but we can't go back into the gala. We can't risk it." Just then, a figure emerged from the shadows of the alley. Lisa's heart raced as she tensed up, instinctively backing away with Emily at her side. But instead of danger, a familiar face came into focus. "Lisa, Emily, I'm so glad I found you." It was Victor, breathless and wide-eyed. They managed to catch the thief. "It's more complicated than we thought." Before he could finish, a series of screams erupted from the gala's entrance, sending a shiver down Lisa's spine. What had they gotten caught up in? "Victor, what is happening?" she gasped, feeling the ground beneath her tremble. He took a step closer, urgency etched on his features. "You all need to see this. It concerns you both." With a heart full of dread and curiosity, Lisa exchanged a glance with Emily. They were thrust into something they didn't fully understand, something that now entwined each of their lives deeper than ever. What could it possibly be? Emily whispered, pressing closer to her mother. "I don't know," Lisa breathed, but she could feel the truth brushing against them like a shadow. The night wasn't over yet, and the answers awaited just around the corner. They took a deep breath, stepping deeper into uncertainty. What had Victor discovered? What impact would it have on their lives? The alleyway felt cool and shadowy as Lisa, Victor, and Emily stood together. The chaos of the gala faded behind them, replaced by echoes of worried voices and hurried footsteps. Inside, "I heard whispers about someone looking for you too," Victor said, urgency flaring in his eyes. "There's been more going on tonight than we first thought, and it all connects back to what you stumbled into." Lisa felt a lump in her throat. What do you mean? Are we in danger? The protective instinct surged within her, fierce and unyielding. No, no. Victor shook his head, attempting to steady her fears. It's complicated. The thief, the one who caused the commotion, he was after something specific in the room where Emily was performing. Emily's face paled, and she tightened her grip on Lisa's hand. What was it? Was it dangerous? Nothing that could hurt you, Victor assured them, kneeling down to meet Emily's gaze. We're looking at stolen pieces from high-profile collections. They were on display tonight as a charity. The thief thought he could grab them in the chaos. Lisa absorbed this new reality, each revelation twisting through her mind. But why would he want to target our daughter's performance? Victor stood. Because that performance would draw attention. Whoever set this plan into motion thought they could cloak their actions in the glamour of the gala, hiding behind innocent talent. A shadow crept through Lisa's heart. So he was using the event as a cover? And now he has been caught? She felt the tension of the evening tightening around her. A storm of vulnerability and uncertainty still raged. Yes, but details are thin, Victor replied as distant sirens wailed. What's important is that you both are safe now. Can we go home? Emily softly asked, her young voice threading through the thick air. Lisa felt a fierce instinct to protect. Yes, we can go home. But what do we do first? Victor stepped closer. Let us gather everyone and ensure they're safe. Then, I have a proposal. The gala is still chaotic. Proposals are the last thing on my mind, Lisa said, crossing her arms defiantly. I know. Hear me out, Victor urged. After everything settles tonight, I want to expand on our discussions about Emily's future. I believe this is a chance to do something with purpose, not just reactions. We can form a nonprofit for young artists. You both experienced this chaos tonight. Something positive can rise from it. Lisa's heart quickened, energy flooding through her. The possibility, it felt like a light cutting through the darkness. But what if this world is too cruel? After tonight, I can't help but wonder. Victor's gaze held firm. This world can be cruel. But it can also be beautiful, Lisa. Look at what Emily did tonight despite the chaos. The heart of art lies in the struggle, and your fight for her is passionate. Let us find ways to transform this struggle into opportunity. The weight of his words wrapped around her heart, feeding an ember of hope. A nonprofit could make a difference, she admitted, glancing at Emily, who nodded softly, as if sensing the stirring potential within. Will it be hard? Emily piped up, her voice small but steady. Of course, Victor said, nodding warmly. Wanting something meaningful rarely comes without its hardships. But every artist's journey means learning persistence and resilience. Lisa looked down, feeling the warmth of Emily's hand in hers. In her daughter's eyes, the spark of hope shimmered brighter, despite the trials ahead. In that moment, something softened inside Lisa's doubt. Could this be the starting point for a new legacy? A chance to settle into the rhythm of their new lives rather than run from fear pressing against them. Let us do it, Lisa finally said, feeling strength ripple within her spirit. From you both, we can assemble something truly impactful. Victor smiled, and the churning uncertainty of the night started to settle. I believe we can sway the narrative. As they returned toward the gala, Lisa's heart raced, anticipation sparking at the edges of her courage. Each step reflected a commitment to the budding dream. Taking place, a dance on the edge of uncertainty. Perhaps this was the dance she could advocate for, just as she had promised to Emily. Mom, Emily whispered as they entered the bustling atmosphere again. Will it really be okay? With confidence bubbling through her words, Lisa nodded. We've faced storms together, haven't we? We have each other. Whatever comes next, we'll navigate it side by side. With renewed determination, they took their places among familiar faces. The chaos around them transformed. The tension still lingered, but now it gleamed with the hope of new beginnings. The gala might have been shaken, but the bond between mother and daughter emerged stronger than ever. As they surveyed the aftermath, Emily's laughter rang clear and bright, cutting through the shadows like sunlight breaking through clouds, a promise of tomorrow. Just wait until they see us. Emily beamed, her imagination alive and vibrant. What's that, sweetie? Us at the arts festival, dancing and inspiring. And in that moment, Lisa realized that this journey was only just beginning. They were ready to leap forward, hand in hand, into their shared dream. This was their story, now a canvas waiting to be filled with new colors of possibility. As the gala continued around them, Lisa felt a surge of excitement. She was ready to embrace the struggle and the beauty, all the while standing tall as Emily's fiercest champion. Together, they would weave their own narrative of hope, resilience, and transformation in the world of art. Now, as the final notes lingered in the air, a question echoed loudly. Are you ready to chase your own dreams? Don't wait. Subscribe immediately to the channel to not miss the next exclusive stories from this journey. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm. It's your chance to help us grow. Comment your reactions and feelings about this incredible ending that celebrates hope and triumph. Share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. Together, we can inspire change. This is the moment to show your support. Don't wait, not even one more second.